Today we are well north of North Bay in Northern Ontario, dropping off a solar shed. Follow along. Well, good day, folks. It's another Friday here with Highland Outbuildings. Just wanted to show you where the world brought us today. Absolutely incredible waterfront property that has fallen into some disrepair. There's a number of old cottages on this land that are no longer suitable for inhabitation, and they're all going to get taken down. And the owner here has built just a stunning cabin. Log cabin, might I add, that's sitting up here on this precipice. So they now decided to take advantage of the natural terrain here, have the building further back from the water. I'm sure they'll remove some trees in those buildings up there. There's also an outbuilding, a nice big steel shed where they're gonna keep their equipment. But what they've asked us to do today is build them a building specifically to house all the batteries, the charge controllers, and the inverters for their solar system. So this whole thing is going to be off-grid. There's propane tanks for the heat. There's going to be tons of panels on the roof. This was off-grid anyways. We're quite a ways in from the road. But our building that we built today is built to a pretty serious spec. So it's got, oh, I'm out of breath walking up this hill. It's got a little bit of extra everything. So it's got tighter spacing on the floor joists. It's got an R24 2x6 walls. They also bought one of our wood cribs with a kindling shelf in it. So that'll get used for the outdoor fireplace, or maybe the outdoor pizza oven you can see over there. But this build here has got 4 windows in it. 2x6 walls gets us R22 in rock wool. So R22 in both the walls and the ceiling, and then R20 in the floor. So this is super insulated. It's ready for keeping a whole bunch of lithium iron phosphate batteries nice and warm come winter time. So we also had to beef up the floor because of the weight that's going to go into it, and it's going to sit over here. So they didn't get a chance to get this perfect for us. So what we're going to do here today, we're just going to drop the building in this general area. It is going to end up back there, but there's no machinery on site. This is too unlevel for us to do anything by hand. Sometimes we can shim it up with some blocks or move some gravel around, but this is far too raw and rough for us to do that. So they're going to get the machine back in here, level this all out, get it ready and perfect, like they did around the corner here. They probably should have just done both at the same time, because their generator is going to sit back here on this nice flat and level pad. We need one of those for the Highland Outbuilding. So we're just going to flip the building around, pick it up with the mule, leave it here temporarily, and then they're going to pick it up with the machine when they get back and finish off the leveling and drag her into place. So Greg's already got her off the building. Bit of a soggy day here, beginning of November, maybe 5 degrees. We're a couple hours north of North Bay today. We're quite far north, but we're happy to bring you a building wherever you want. Sometimes we've got to stick it just about 20 or 30 feet from where you need to put it permanently, but they'll get that sorted out later on. So Greg's got it picked up. I think it's always fun to show people. It's hard to describe a shed mule if you've never seen one in action. It's an amazing little machine. And the dollies on this end hold up the back side of the building, and the shed mule does all the work on pushing. So we got lots of room here. We're actually going to temporarily place this for today. But in she goes. The mule does all the work. These tires are actually really low. Spinner. Don't want to fall off. Good, now back. So those tires can get us pretty much anywhere. It's amazing. We want to be careful with the building, of course. We don't want to get it into too much rocking and banging around. That's good right there. So we're just gonna drop this here now, and then once they're finished their site preparation, we'll just drag her back. So just to show you the process here, this machine is useless unless it pushes against something. So when the boom goes up and then pushes against the building, that's what gives it the mechanical advantage. Now he can lift with the hydraulics. We come around here, give the dollies a boot, get those out of the way. And then Greg will lower that down. The reason we put the blocks in on this side is if we didn't do that, it would be too close to the ground to get the forks under in order to get the mule out from underneath it. So he'll drop this end down here now in just a second. Might as well document this because people are always asking. And just watch how slowly this thing will come down here. And there's all these steps that I don't understand. So now we put this on the ground, not sure where he's going. Oh, grabbing a piece of stone. Greg's pretty good at gauging height differences. So this is gonna keep it relatively level. There we go. Now we can get the forks out from underneath. We come around to the other side, pull the blocks out. And then this thing is sitting, again, temporarily. It's not gonna be permanently in this spot. It's gonna move down here once they get the site prepped up. Now we come around here to pick this side up. That 2x4 on the bottom between the skids is just there to give something for the shed mule to grab onto. You can see the boom rises up. Greg picks the strong part of the door. We pull the blocks out. And now he'll put her down. If this was perfectly flat and level, we'd be done. In this case, they're gonna have to drag it into place afterwards. But that's how a mule works. It's an amazing little machine that's unbelievably capable, and we can't do our work without it. So it's worth showing the actual finished build here. I'm just gonna step in for a second. Now this is very similar to any other 10x16 Algonquin that we built. However, the walls are thicker, right? So we have 2x6 walls with our 22 rock wool. Same thing in the ceiling, 2x6 roof trusses. That's not necessary for a building this small. Don't think you have to do that. There's lots of insulation and lots of framing in a 10x16 with a 2x4 wall and an R10 floor with R14 walls. In this case, this building has a specific job, and that's to keep batteries warm for a solar application. He wanted to spend the extra money in order to upgrade this building, but like all buildings, it's beautiful. Got our pine tongue and groove in here. 4 windows placed towards the end of the building, which is totally cool. We're happy to do that for a customer. Doesn't matter to us where you stick them. There you go, 10x16 Algonquin in 2x6. Have a great day, folks. I got a muddy truck. I got muddy boots. I'm gonna try to get home before it gets too dark to see my kids, and my wife, of course. But you never know where you're gonna end up. In this case, beautiful Northern Ontario. Cheers.